Hey, seventh grade world history. I'm going to go over section 4 with you. You'll be sent a quiz on section 3, and eventually a quiz on section 4. And then on Thursday, no, on Friday, we'll be having a chapter test on this stuff. I want to go over section 4 with you for a few minutes here. Remember, when you're doing your work, you're making a study sheet, so be sure you're writing down stuff. I'm going to go over the things with you on from the beginning of that on page 744, and then the assessment at the end of the section. So we'll be talking about those. First person was William Gladstone. William Gladstone was the Prime Minister in England. Prime Minister, of course, would be comparable to the United States President, but the political leader of the country. He became Prime Minister in 1868. He served 4 terms, and some of the things that he did that he's known for would be he came up with secret ballots. So when you go to vote, nobody knows who you're voting for. That way, you feel confident that you can vote for who you think is best, not somebody who's maybe twisting your arm or threatening you. That kind of stuff. That's important in a democratic type government where you get a chance to vote in secret. Also, by doing that, he was able to get more equal representation. So it wasn't just the wealthy or in one group or another. It was kind of equal. So the when they were voting on things, you could have a wide variety of people, kind of like we do here in America today. Of course, their government was called Parliament. They had the House of Lords and the House of Commons. Okay, so you should have had those kind of things down about William Gladstone. The next person that we want to talk about, man, he's got a great name. His name was let's see, make sure you say this the right way now. Giuseppe Garibaldi. Giuseppe Garibaldi. Giuseppe Garibaldi was a leader in uniting Italy into becoming a country. Before, all these countries were just little small city-state type things where you just had a small area and it's usually ruled by some strong guy. Well, Giuseppe Garibaldi becomes a leader. He's known for his guerrilla warfare, and of course I think most of you know what that means. It's where you don't have a strong enough army to go and attack directly, so you hit them from behind, and another time hit them from the side, maybe burn something down, do things like that to have effect, because you just don't have a strong enough army to go head to head with your enemy. But anyway, he led the revolt in southern Italy. And had success by using his guerrilla warfare. And then eventually southern Italy joined with Italy, northern Italy and other areas, which eventually became a nation, the nation of Italy. The next person that you had was Otto von Bismarck. Otto von Bismarck eventually becomes Prime Minister in Germany in 1870. Your book used the word a Junker. It looks like Junker, but it's pronounced Junker in German. And he was a wealthy landowner, and his motto sort of was blood and iron. He was going to rule, and if whatever he had to do to rule. So if he had blood, if he had to hurt people, iron, he was going to have a strong military. And in 1870, he leads Germany, which was also called Prussia at that time, into a war with France, and he defeats several of the countries there in Europe. And that's kind of interesting because in 1914, which we'll study later, Germany starts a war in Europe. And then again in 1939, Germany starts a war in Europe. So they became a nation in 1870. And for the next, 70, 80 years, they're starting wars all over the place. So they're a very aggressive group of people. But anyway, von Bismarck becomes their Kaiser. That's the title that they had. We call here in America the leader president. Well, they called him Kaiser, and that was their emperor in Germany. That he claimed this, and he became that in 1871. Another person was Simon Bolivar. He's a leader in South America. He's referred to as the George Washington of South America, stating he's the father of those countries down there in that area, as he led to go against the Spanish or other groups that might be controlling those countries. Because this was a time, as you hopefully read in the section of nationalism, when all these smaller countries wanted to be an individual country. They didn't want to be ruled by somebody else. They wanted to be, have their own nation. And so that's what they're going for in this during this time period. And so Simon Bolivar helps the countries of Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, a couple of others to gain their independence from these foreign powers that were ruling them. And he, as I mentioned, he's known as the George Washington of his country. The vocab words, we talked about Kaiser already. That's what Bismarck claimed, called himself to be the ruler, the Kaiser. And then you had Caltheo. It looks like it's Caudillos to us, but as the book told you, in Spanish it's pronounced Caltheos. And these were rich men in South America, and they were more interested in power and wealth than they were in the people. And so that's why a lot of those countries never became independent, was because of these selfish guys, these Caltheos who wanted the power and the wealth and all that came with that. And so even today, a lot of those countries struggle because of the leaders that they have are more interested in power than they are in helping the people. Okay, let's go over to the section review on page 754. You were assigned to do that work. Hopefully, you've done that. You have that. You have that with you there. And let's go over this and see what what you have for that, what you should have for that. Just 1 minute.